In this video, we will talk about AI authority, how you can create a month of high converting content in about an hour so it can stand out online. And I have no one other than Mahoney for this session. She's super knowledgeable when it comes to this, and she's been actually leveraging AI in her business and helping clients for quite a few years. I'm sure you're going to hear a little bit how she got into AI and all this and the power of it in this session, especially when it comes to content creation. That's something she's really good at. She's been in the space for a long time, and I've connected with her before for other summits and sessions we have done. So this is like a full-on masterclass session where you are going to get a lot of value. And be sure to stick around to the end because we have something really special for you. So I'm going to just bring on Molly here side by side so you can see us. So yeah, how's it going, Molly?
Hey, so looking forward to this.
Yeah.
I know I've told you before, but I just love the way that you run summits. You do things in a way that's really unique, and it just makes me so happy. So I'm really grateful to be here.
Yeah, we are doing something a little bit different. You might see this on YouTube. You might see this on other platforms. During this session, wherever you're watching this, drop a comment and leave your takeaways anytime, and subscribe to the channel and like this for more because we have something really special coming. And maybe if you get enough likes, you're going to see something extra from us as well. Molly has a presentation prepared, and I'm going to come in with some questions here and there to make this really customized for you to really understand what we are covering here. So Molly, why don't we take it away and get right into it?
Awesome. I love it. And yes, please keep this a conversation. So if there's ever anything that you're like, wait, we need more about that, or you think that I just sound crazy, jump in and let me know.
All right, I'm just going to put you up here so you can get into the screen share.
Awesome. This is our AI authority system. Literally, you can create a month of content in about an hour. Now, you can also actually create an entire year of content in about an hour using this system. I did it last month in our content club. I was like, you know what? I want to see how much I can do with this. I know that sounds a little exaggerated to have as a title, so I decided to save that for you to find out later. But once you learn the choreography of everything that I'm going to share with you today, you really can create high converting content in about an hour for your entire month. It is awesome. I'm also going to share our social sales strategy that I used that helped us to bring 290 membership requests in a week. Check this out. Like what? It was crazy what ended up happening for us in this month. And I'm going to show you exactly how I did that also, because we're not just creating content for the sake of creating content. We're creating content so that you can actually bring in qualified leads and make sales, because that's how you make a bigger impact. Now, if you are a human being on this planet, you've heard of ChatGPT. I am going to get into some specific tools for you today. Know when we're talking about the chat type tools, I may say ChatGPT, but you can use whatever chat type AI tool you'd like. As you know, way back in April of 2023, they had 1.8 billion people on their website, which is bananas. We actually ended up launching our AI content club in 2021, so way before ChatGPT even existed. And we were just speaking right before starting this. So know that if you upgrade and get the bundle here, you'll actually not only get all the information that we're sharing today, but you'll also get 2 weeks for free of our content club. So that's just a little teaser right there. I don't know. Do you want to share the link?
Yeah, I'll just share a little bit. I just come on here next to you here side by side. So yeah, we have a special bundle. I'll link this below here so you can check it out. And we are actually going to do, that was the teaser before, but we are going to do an extra bonus after we have recorded this one, which is free for everyone, right? You can access this on YouTube. You can access this on the summit. So we are going to do a special session afterwards with maybe some more advanced strategies, maybe some deep dive into what you are doing actually in your business, Molly. That will be inside. Plus, if you join the bundle, you can also get access to 2 weeks free of her content club, which you don't offer anywhere else, right? You don't offer this.
Yeah, it's going to be special just for y'all.
This is great. So let's dive back. Let's do it.
This is actually something that we have created that is a website. If you go to the contentclub.ai, this website is all auto-generated content. So it is creating blog posts based on keyword research automatically on the fly. Now, if you go to this website, you may be like, what on earth is she talking about? Because I show this to you purposely to show you that this is the kind of things that people are doing. They are just auto-setting content. The content on this website is actually total crap. I show this to you as a joke. If you go here, you'll see some of these may be okay, but a lot of it is really weird. I didn't do anything to fine tune it or to really make sure that it was in my voice, any of that. Just to prove to you that there are a lot of people on the internet filling the internet with noise. Don't do this. What I'm going to show you today will make sure that your content is actually specifically in your brand voice, and it will cut through all of the noise that is so easily shared on the internet right now. Okay, that's your warning. There's also this technology adoption curve that we all know about in the back of our mind, but it is really important to take into consideration right now. So there are innovators, the people who jump in right away. As I shared, we've had our AI-focused content club since 2021. So we're like over here in this section, right? The early adopters. And then there's the early majority. So at this point right now, we're honestly in this early majority. The thing that's really cool for you is that this curve is moving every day. There are new things coming out in the world of AI all the time. So you have the opportunity to jump in and be in that early majority. Literally every time you wake up in the morning, there is something new that has happened. You get a new chance to be one of the first to try it or to put it out there. Now, as you move into the late majority, you've been past that and you move into the laggards, which is why we are here making sure you have this information so you don't become a laggard. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. And I just wanted to come in because I like what you said about, this was a cool example you showed with the contentclub.ai website, which is just auto-generated. And a lot of people are doing that. And that's not the way forward, because I've even heard what Neil Patel and other really big marketing experts are saying about this. It's actually your opportunity to stand out now, because it's going to be a lot of crap. And Google has been good for such a long time. Even though the buzzword now might be AI, they're using AI technology and stuff like that for the longest time, and the algorithms and everything they have done to just cut out the crap. Because if you look at the top results of Google, you see pretty good content usually, and it's usually some kind of human touch. You want to, maybe if you search for marketing or SEO, you find Brian Dean or Neil Patel or something like that. And they have
That's such a great
content.
point. I think there's a lot of people out there teaching strategies like this where they're like, it's so easy. You don't even have to be involved. Just set your keywords and forget it. But that's not actually going to bring you real conversions, and it's not actually going to bring you real results. So
AI is an assistant. At least that's how I see it. And I think the people leveraging AI, of course, they are going to be able to do a lot more. But I think there's a line between it. And I think it's going to get better in the future as well. You can probably do even more in the future. But yeah, you need to have some human touch. And I think the people will crave even more connection with the AI revolution and everything that's coming here.
It's so true, because what's happening is this.
Yeah, let's get back to it.
There are like creepy robots everywhere. You didn't even know this was the next slide, but I'm so grateful because that was such a perfect.
Yeah, that's exactly the feeling.
It's either that there's these like creepy robots, or there's so many people now trying to shove all of this content into the internet that it seems like there is no way to cut through the noise, right? And we're all also being subject to this zombie AI content. So I love this GIF. It says, "You're boring me to death, and I'm already dead. You're boring me back to death," right? We don't want you to create content that is like this. We want you to create content that really allows you to stand out. And something else that you may not be aware of is that this number, the 1.8 billion, these people who are using ChatGPT, that was way back in April of 2023. Well, I went and took a screenshot in June of 2023, and there was a huge dip in how many people are actually using ChatGPT. And I think there's a few different reasons this could be happening. It could be that people are actually building their own tools and they're not going to the ChatGPT website anymore. Now they're actually using the API access, which we have a whole suite of tools that we've built for our clients. All they have to do is log into our AIFI platform. It's like not normal people can't get it. You have to be in our mastermind. And it has all of our templates inside a tool. They're not going to ChatGPT to use that then. They're going to our specific tool for that, right? The other thing is, I think a lot of people thought it was cool, but then didn't actually get results because they didn't know how to use it strategically. So we're not going to let that happen to you. It feels like this fast moving train, right? That we're like, so many things happening with AI. So what we're going to do is we're going to slow it down a little bit. We're going to take what I like to call a content cruise. Going to go on our little content cruise, slow it down just a little bit. And we are going to move into how you really can be known as that authority using AI as your assistant. And I love what you said about making sure that you're keeping that human aspect in it. I heard somebody say recently that we should follow the 10-80-10 rule, which I love. So as we go through all of this, keep in mind that it's 10% human in the beginning. Then 80% is where the AI is going to do these things quickly for us. It used to take us a lot of time. And then 10% on the other side again to come in and zhuzh this. So it's really like, has your little sparkle in it. I don't know if you wear sparkles specifically. I do. Whatever your sparkles are.
No, it's good. I mean, I do like that. I think it's great that we're gonna have this aspect. Like you can make things a lot more efficient by using AI and different tools. But yeah, and I also think maybe some people don't know how to use tools like ChatGPT, and maybe that's why also the dip. But yeah, there's a lot of tools coming every week, so some people might try other tools. But I think with ChatGPT, a lot of people don't know how to use it properly. I think that's...
And they don't know how to get anything that's like actually effective, right?
So yeah, and they probably don't use the plus, and they're getting crap, basically. That's what it...
Yeah.
Garbage in, garbage out. That's basically how it is, so...
It's like never been a better use case of that statement,
all
totally.
Right. But let's get right in here. I put you back.
All right, so what we're going to cover today is this whole system. So you can take a screenshot of this. This is like the whole thing. I'm giving it to you right away. On the left-hand side, you'll see this is how we batch create our content, all of these steps here, 1 through 5. And then on the right, this is how, after we create the content in the first place, this is how we repurpose it so that we can really make the most out of the time that we're spending in creating the content in the first place. We're going to dive deeper into each of these steps. And as you heard earlier, my name is Molly Mahoney. The Prepared Performer is my company. And really what we do is we help people to create content that gets clients. So I'm going to keep saying this because I don't want you to create content just for the sake of creating content. You actually want to move forward and make real sales. And hopefully Navid recommending me to be here, like, lets you know you can trust me. I've been seen on big fancy stages. We don't even need to go into those. I am a cheesy musical theater head. This is me on the national tour of Chitty Bang. So if you're like, why is this crazy lady so crazy? It's because I am a musical theater performer through and through. My company is called The Prepared Performer. And what happened is I had a performing arts career in New York and decided to move to California, launch these two. These are my kiddos. Now, rather than helping performers how to have a career, because I was a singing coach, now I help business owners how to perform and how to weave their human side with these magic automation tools. We've helped loads of clients, from Sean Oliu, who is an amazing country singer now, actually. He was once a member on the new Mickey Mouse Club. All the way to Jeff Walker, was our client for 2 years. We helped him with his organic social strategy and taking the full PLF system and putting it into a Facebook group. It was pretty awesome. Dr. E is one of the clients that I love to talk about, just so you know. As we said, like, this is a system, but really you're bringing your human self into the mix. Dr. E used our strategies. She just hit 600,000 followers on TikTok. So I need to update this slide. It is awesome what she has done. If you go check her out, actually, The New Method is her account. It's a really great TikTok account to follow. She's really just sharing as a human being, but she's using AI on the backside to come up with the ideas and to streamline it all. We also do take our clients to Disneyland. So if you're like, this is so wild, what is happening here? It's because we believe the more fun you have, the more money you make. So we got you on the fun piece. And like I said, we do have a program called the AI Content Club. We're going to go through these strategies. This is what we do inside the Content Club. This is also what allowed me to have a video hit a reach of 39 million. It says 35 million here. It ended up hitting a reach of 39 million in total. And Facebook paid me $30,000 for this video. Have we talked about this? I don't know if we've talked about it.
I don't know if that might, you know what? When was that? Well, we did something for another summit before. So
this was back in 2022. We may have talked about it before. We don't have to talk about it today, but when we do the thing in the middle, we'll talk more about this, because it is still bananas to me that Facebook actually paid us $30,000 for this video.
Yeah,
these strategies I'm going to show today, this is what leads to this. Another thing that we do, just as a little visibility tip with this, is when we're creating these videos, we take little moments from them and we repurpose them into GIFs. Now, if I could create an AI tool that didn't exist, it would be to create an AI tool that grabs GIFable moments from your videos. So if anyone has an AI tool like that, I want to know what it is. We have used GIFs like this. Our Giphy account, it's now coming up to 150 million views of my face for free with Giphy.
I would love a tool like this. You know what other tool? I was just talking to another guest for the summit. I would love a tool that can do really high quality infographics based on text or video. I think that would be a really cool thing. It might be coming in the future, something that can do this really well. Or if it exists, let me know in the comments. I haven't found one that I would...
like an actual infographic where it matches what
make
we're
it
talking
really
about.
Like
Totally.
beautiful. Yeah, I haven't found this either. So yeah, if it exists, let me know. There's thousands of AI tools. Where is this tool? I'm looking for it.
I agree. Totally good. Okay. And underneath all of this, I have a secret. This secret may increase your visibility. It may increase your engagement. It will increase your sales, and it may make you feel really uncomfortable. Here is what happens when you start using these strategies. You start to get comments like this. This lovely human said to one of my videos, "This girl annoys me, LOL, but she's got great advice. And if she can do it, you can too." I replied to this comment and I said, you guys know that I can see what you write when you share. My blend of crazy isn't for everyone, but I'm glad you were able to find some helpful nuggets. Grateful for the share. Hope it helps you to connect with your audience in your own unique way. And then they replied to this comment, "She is rather annoying, LOL." Okay. These negative comments like this one, "This repetitive, not attractive, but funny person is getting hidden today. I've seen this 50 times. Her lisp is irritating. I didn't even know I had a lisp until I started doing videos. I've had dentures since I was 12. So it really made me self-conscious, but I kept going." So all of these negative comments coming in, the best one out of all of them is this. This guy says, "You talk too much. That's how you make money. And it's annoying." My response to him was, "I'd like to personally thank you for inspiring our most liked post of the year. The Chatty Moneybags marketing coach costume was a hit." This is our response to this negative comment. And so I'm going to show you how you can use AI to come up with responses like this. I just want to put this out there right away that when you use our strategies, you're going to get more visibility. You may get some haters. And here's how to deal with it. I said, "In honor of the great feedback we got on YouTube recently, you too can be a Chatty Moneybags marketing coach. Included in this costume is one banana phone, because our banana phone is our direct line to the universe. It's where we call in our future gratitudes. 20 pairs of sparkly pants. I really like sparkly pants. 200 talks too much templates, an extra bucket of possibility, and one bag of Brussels sprouts, which I will explain later. I promise it'll make sense. And not included," my husband made me include this part, "not included car keys. She can't find them." What we've done here is we've taken who I am as a human being and basically made fun of myself in response to this troll comment. Now, this one little post ended up getting 433 likes, 122 comments, and 4 shares, which is pretty awesome for just like a random post that we're posting in response to a troll. This secret underneath all of this is not a social media tool. It's not the next TikTok, Clubhouse, Threads, whatever it is. This secret is actually not AI. The secret is you. As we've already talked about a little bit, it's really weaving who you are into everything that you're doing with AI. Your weird plus AI magic is how you create content that stands out. Now, you may be like, "I don't think I'm weird enough. That freaks me out." I have to tell you, weirdos are everywhere. And guess what, my friend? You are a weirdo. You have something about you that is unique, that is different. When you figure out what that thing is, that's when you really go and your content starts to take off. But you have to be willing to look at that and really uncover what that is underneath it. Now, Navid, I have a little question for you. I don't have this written in the slides. We can talk about the strategies to figure out what your weird is here, or we can do it in the other side.
Let's talk about it a little bit so people get an idea. I think it's really good. People might say, "Molly, you have this. You're like crazy. You're doing different things. You can respond to comments like this, but how can someone else do this?" Let's say they are newer to business, or they're starting out, or they don't know exactly how to infuse their personality, which you do really well. Like, it's not like even your background is on brand. You have the prepared for performer there. So if you see Molly online, it's like your brand. How do you do that? Can you explain a little bit how people can do it?
This is something that we get a lot is you were a performer professionally. Obviously, you're comfortable showing up. So the first thing that I want to say is that this is a learned skill set. It's not something that you're just born with. Yes, there are people who may be born with a little more oomph or gumption or confidence, but really figuring this out is a skill. So will you do this exercise with me?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so you're going to take your fingers like this.
Okay,
Ha, ha, ha.
I put us
Okay.
side by side.
We're going to take your fingers like this. Now, and if you're watching this, wherever you're watching it, do this also, even though we can't see you.
All right.
Okay. Inside this ball, you're going to put all of the benefits from what it is that you offer in your business. Everything that you offer is going to go inside this ball. The features, the benefits, all the goodness. You got it in there?
Yeah, I got it.
Great. It's all in there. Now we're going to throw this up into the air on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Okay. I was a little bit early. Sorry.
Now, our business benefits are all floating above us. If you've ever seen the movie Willy Wonka, the original movie Willy Wonka, when Mikey TV is going into the Wonka vision, all of it's like floating above us, all of that. So what are you left with?
Yeah, I'm left with what I put in the bowl.
We threw it up in the air, right? So we're left with, a lot of people will say nothing, but really what you're left with is you. So separate from your business.
Yeah, it's separate because you have the features and benefits, whatever. That's it. You have your personality. You're uniquely you. That's always what you have. It's like you build the brand of you. That's what I always said since I started my business, essentially. But you already know what you're good at, what you can offer, but you need to have your personality. That's what you're always left with. Even if you lose your business, you're going to always have yourself. So.
Totally. And we call that thing, that like essence, we call that your quesadilla of awesome. Because
quesadilla
everyone has them.
A Mexican reference there. I like it.
Totally. I am married to a Dominguez, so it makes sense. The quesadilla of awesome, this is your blend of awesome because everyone has something that makes them uniquely awesome, even if it's just that you make an amazing quesadilla. And you can put all different kinds of things in your quesadilla if you want to. So we're going to make a list of the 20 things that make you a uniquely awesome human being. Some people get 3 things into this list and they freak out and they don't know how to continue. So I created a little acronym so that you have a list of all the things that should go into this recipe. The acronym is the word SAVE. You may think SAVE only has 4 letters, but I can't spell, so SAVE has 5 letters in my acronym so that you get over my bad spelling. Now that's a part of my quesadilla of awesome. Instead of me being apologetic for my bad spelling, I just celebrate it. Okay, so it's SAVE. The S is for your skill sets, the things that you're naturally gifted at, separate from your business. The A is for your appearance, because when we're doing videos like this, like the first thing we talked about was like, oh, your video looks so awesome. We're seeing that thing that comes through the screen there. It's not actually about what other people think about the way you look. It's about what you think about the way you look. So how you feel, because those gremlins creep up, right? When we're looking at ourselves on camera, we're like, oh, all that stuff. And whether you're creating a video for your content or you're on a sales conversation, you feeling awesome about the way you show up is going to create an energy that becomes contagious. Write those things down about your appearance. The next is your activities. Your activities, what are things that you love to do separate from business?
Oh, what I like to do. I like sports. I like skiing, snowboarding. I like to be in nature. I love traveling. I'm trying to learn bachata and some Latin dance sometimes, but yeah, I'm not so good at it, but I would like to be. That's maybe when I have more time, I like to take some intense lessons in this as well, but I have taken some lessons.
But even that, we were talking about, where are you right now, actually?
Right now, I'm in Stockholm recording this for a little bit, but I'm usually based in Panama and Dubai. So I'm like, part of my brand since I started has always been that I'm a world traveler, I'm a global citizen. I live this lifestyle too. It's not something I just make up I can show people 10 years of doing this, basically.
Okay, so this is a perfect example because I remembered that you had said maybe you were going to be in Stockholm doing this. I actually went to a dance camp in Sweden. So from there, knowing that you mentioned dance, I'm like, I went to a dance camp in Sweden when I was younger. Like, we have all these things that we can then connect about so that we can build that content, like stories, all sorts of things that connect me to you now in our content. There's so much that we can pull from with that. So those are the activities. Instantly brings you, like, you can think of other people that like sports. You can think of other people that travel. There's all kinds of things that can bring that connectivity together. Okay, the V is for your values. And values, clearly there's a value for you of like freedom and being able to work from anywhere. That's a value that you already mentioned that you're talking about, right?
Still my strongest one when I started. Like, then it shifts a little bit to helping people more. In the beginning, you help yourself a lot, right? You started, what's your goals? And then shifts when you have achieved what you want to achieve. Then okay, how can I help more people doing this thing or whatever? But it was for sure, freedom is still my biggest driver for what I do. I love to have my freedom.
And I find that to be so interesting that I was able to pick up on that just from what you've shared from the handful of times we've had conversations, because it's clear that's one of your values. Awesome. Yeah. For us, we have standing for joy as a fierce form of activism, that there's always going to be some sort of joy that we can find even in the toughest of times. Not everybody can handle the joy that we bring to the table, and that's okay. They can go other places, right? Kindness and inclusivity is something else that we really stand for, and we weave through everything that we're doing. Some people are going to want that. Some people don't. And that's okay. Because if it pushes those people away, that's a good thing, right? Awesome. Okay. Do you know what the E stands for?
The E, what kind of stands for? E, what is it?
It's things you like to eat.
Okay, so that makes sense. Okay, so that is also good. I'm pretty healthy usually, so that's...
Okay, I have a really important question for you. Brussels sprouts, yes or no?
I can eat it, yeah. It's not something I eat a lot, but I can eat stuff like that. I can eat...
If you're watching this and we've never connected before, what I would love you to do is go to your personal Facebook profile and write the words Brussels sprouts, yes or no. Because I think that's like the only time that I've ever seen someone say, either way, usually people are like, heck yes, I love them, or oh my gosh, throw them away. I hate them.
Yeah, but it's not something I like add every time, but I can have it. But it's not, I can eat anything. It's pretty healthy, so it's not bad.
Yes.
But people sometimes don't like certain things and they are very specific about it. So I can understand that.
Yeah. For whatever reason, Brussels sprouts are actually the most polarizing vegetable on the planet.
Really?
I've had 4 people send me in the mail this same dish towel that says, are you ready for it? Okay, it says, every day I'm Brusselen.
Oh my God. It's really good with salmon and stuff like that. You can make it.
Salmon is my favorite. Totally.
Yeah, so I like to eat very healthy. That's me.
What happens is when you share things that you love to eat or share things that you really don't like to eat, it creates that stickiness as well because it's that common denominator, right? It's something that all humans eat. So when people go to restaurants, if they see Brussels sprouts, they'll take a picture and tag me. It's like Brussels sprouts have become this very sticky thing. When you have all of these things together in one recipe, in this quesadilla, what you're going to do is you have this list of the things that make you awesome. Take your fingers like this. This is the most important part. Can you put your fingers like this?
Yeah, I put me on the screen too. Yeah.
Okay. So you have your fingers here. Now you're going to tap your fingers on your chest like this. And you're looking at that list of all the things. You did not expect that this is what was going to happen in an AI training.
It's like on the fly. It's funny. It's actually fun.
Okay. I promise we're going to get to hardcore AI, but this is really important first. You're going to tap your chest like this. And what we're going to do is what I call the money dance. You're just going to hum like this. And move your shoulders. Okay. Now, you're going to start weaving in all of the things that make you before you actually go live. It feels good, right?
Yeah, it's relaxing. We're doing like almost like a stretch or relaxation here on the session.
Exactly. Before you write copy, before you start talking to ChatGPT, before you start doing videos, you want to look at that list of the things that make you uniquely awesome, tap on your chest here, and then do the money dance.
I'm going to remember this. Molly's money. I mean, you got to remember this if you're watching. Molly's I mean, probably no other speaker or someone you've seen is doing this. So this is quite unique on its own. So yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate putting me on this.
It'll change your life. I promise you. Keep me posted on how it goes. Okay.
Yeah,
so that's our prep, right? That's the quesadilla of awesome before we move forward with anything else, which is really going to help us accelerate as we step into the content cruise. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Should we get to the cruise here? You see it on the screen.
Yeah. Okay. So step aboard the content cruise. I'm going to give you tools right now for your suitcase. So we already had the quesadilla of awesome. Everybody's always asking me, which AI tools are you using? And I have to say, some people promise to share 1,000 new AI tools a week. I go the opposite. I only want to know if the tool is making you money or bringing you joy. Either way, if you are finding yourself going down this rabbit hole of learning the new tool and you're just like collecting all these subscriptions, that's not the way to get results with AI. So I'm going to give you a very short list of tools that are very effective. You may have something that's a little bit better in some little area, whatever. I don't care. I want you to use it and make money with it. So for text, we're using ChatGPT or Claude more than anything else. I know there's other tools, but for me, those are the easiest basic ones that I'm using. I'm also using WordTune, which I use WordTune Read. It's an extension that's on your Chrome that can follow you everywhere on the internet, and it summarizes the videos and things that you're using. WordTune is actually the first AI tool that I used even before the next one that I'm going to show, which is Jasper. Jasper is really my first love in AI. WordTune I've been using even longer than Jasper. Capsho is another one that I really love. Capsho, you can put a YouTube video in and it will give you amazing written resources repurposing your videos, your video or any other video. It's awesome. Okay. And Jasper, some of you may know Jasper. Jasper really is great for templatized AI copywriting that you need to do. We're not using Jasper as much as we used to, but I still have it and I still like it. Video editing and repurposing. So if you have a video and you would like to edit it or repurpose it, we're using Descript as our number one editing tool. We're also using Video, which you can take a video, put it into video, and it will find good moments within the video and chop it up, add captions, everything. Descript is going to be a little more customizable. So we use Descript mixed with Capsho. So Capsho does like the searching through your videos to find the best moments. And then we connect that with Descript. Video and Opus, which is another one that we love, they're more for like quick content. If you want to just get content out really quickly, it's customizable to a certain degree, but it's more for quick content. Those are great. Also, if you are creating videos from scratch, so like when you're first creating videos, we love Kyber. Kyber is so cool. And I have some examples that I'm going to show. It makes weird videos that are super magical. And Midjourney, you can obviously make graphics in Midjourney. You do have to have a little bit of a learning curve when using Midjourney, but a lot of the graphics that I'm using today, I made with Midjourney. And then Canva just released so many cool AI tools.
I love what Canva came out with, and also now that's actually in chat, not just in Bing. So that is pretty cool, actually. That is nice.
You can now like load images into ChatGPT, and you can create images right within there, which is like amazing.
And I've used like some of the tools you mentioned, like Opus and the Capsho. Actually, you told me about this, and it seems to be incredible. So I did that as well. There's so many tools, but it's good that you have like, you need to find what works for you and stick to it and kind of integrate it into your workflow so it doesn't feel overwhelming. Like getting a list of 1,000+ tools, it might be fun for a little bit to explore, but then you're gonna be like overwhelmed. You're not gonna use all these tools, and most of the tools probably gonna go out of business. There are many tools, at least, gonna go out of business. There's too many. There's too many out there. So
I totally agree.
The AI revolution is good and bad. For some tools are just built with the API or something like that, and they are not like real tools. And I think some of them will disappear, to be honest. Let's see. But
I totally agree. And I love what you said about the workflow, because what I'm going to show you is the actual workflow, like the strategic piece of this. So really important. We did our quesadilla of awesome already. Now we have a little more prep work before we start using these tools. When you are putting this content out into the internet, you want to have these 3 things in place. This is the strategy for how to share the content after you've created it. The first is you have to actually show up on the platform. If you don't show up on the platform, the content doesn't do any good sitting in your Google Drive, FYI. Then once you've done that, you have to actually go where your ideal client is and make sure that you are telling the algorithm, hey, I connect with this type of person, so show my content to this type of person. This is so important when it comes to organic, and most people skip this. The third thing is the actual platform itself. And so we have to give the platform what it wants. Now, these tools, whether it is Snapchat, Instagram, X, Twitter, whatever, YouTube, Threads, all of these different tools, there's one thing that they want, which is to be TikTok. So we have to think about the fact that TikTok really has the hold still on the algorithm. And all of these tools are trying to get us to create stuff that does what TikTok does, which is attention. It keeps people on the platform longer. So what can we do to do that? Don't share a bunch of links. Share content that keeps people watching, keeps people reading, and keeps them engaging. Really important. Okay, when you have all that together, it's called the social triangle. It unlocks the social triangle so that you get more organic reach. If this seems basic, I just want to tell you there was this book that was written called Getting Everything You Can Out of All That's Hot Online. It was written by Jay Abraham and Rich Schefren. There's all these fancy dudes like this guy, Russell Brunson, other cool people, and Molly Mahoney. Sparkle Pants Mahoney is the final chapter in this book, and it is the social triangle to generate $300K per month. So use the social triangle. It may be a common practice, but I can tell you it is not commonly practiced. So keep that in mind. Okay. Now, the full itinerary of our cruise, like we said, is going through the batch content creation and then the batch repurposing. Before we get to the first step of the full batch content creation, we have to go through our embarkation phase, which is we want to feed the AI tool with your company information. So Navid said earlier, junk in, junk out, right? We have to make sure that we set ourselves up for success by giving, we're talking about ChatGPT now, by giving ChatGPT our company details, our product details, and our ideal client details. Now, in the company details, we actually give the information where it knows not only like what we're selling, but also who we are, what's our voice. And so I'm going to show you what I put into my custom instructions inside ChatGPT so that I don't have to reset it every single time. There's a couple things here that are like really ninja, so you're going to love this section. Inside ChatGPT, on the bottom left-hand side, if you click on the little 3 dots right here, you'll get the option to turn on custom instructions. If you can't find it, usually it's turned on for everyone now, but you may have to click on settings and beta and turn it on. And here you can see in the top section here, I'm putting company, my company name. This is funny, but I say by Molly Mahoney because when I said like founder, it was too many letters. So I'm going for the shortest amount of text. So that's why it says by Molly Mahoney. And then what makes your company different? So this is something that I go through a whole process of feeding ChatGPT with my quesadilla of awesome, with our company, and ChatGPT helps me to come up with my unique differentiator. So this statement here was actually written by AI before I put it into the custom instructions. Then the second section down here where it says, how would you like ChatGPT to respond? You can see that it says, act like a high-level marketer with a deep understanding of human psychology. Now, if you are creating content for your clients as well as for yourself, notice what I did here. This is really important. You will be writing copy for the Prepared Performer, that's my company, and our clients. We have clients in several niches and industries, so be sure to tap into the visceral emotional language that will connect with the specific ideal client and industry without being overly sappy, stuffy, or fancy. This next section is partially cut off, but I really love this next section. It says, we write copy for everyday human beings, not overly educated fancy pants. So I'm making sure that it's going to be a little playful, but it's also not going to be really stuffy and Harvard Review. It's like talking to common people.
I have a question regarding this because because my partner in the project, Jan, he's doing copy for different businesses. How have you found that working when you're adding custom instructions for yourself? Because your business is very different than your clients' businesses, right? So
totally.
Have you found that working well, or have you found that ChatGPT gets confused?
So because I said here we're writing copy for the Prepared Performer and our clients, then if I'm going to write something like I have a client who is a spiritual coach, very different language than what I am creating for myself. And so I'll say, today we're going to write content for my client, Felicia. And I then season it to know about Felicia.
Okay, so you're changing it up a little bit if you're doing it this day. Like you change, okay, that's good.
Exactly. But I've already told it, we're going to mix it up a bit. So if I don't say anything, it'll write it for me. Yeah. If I want to write for a client, I make sure I explain.
Makes sense. Perfect. Got it.
And the other thing that's tricky, that it's weird how our brains work. That's what you would do if you were talking to a human.
Yeah, it's true. It's exactly the same, because you need to explain what you're talking about, otherwise they have no idea, right?
So,
and it's funny when you're talking to a robot or AI. I mean, then you're like just assume they know everything, but it's not the case, right? You need to feed it information, the right information. So
totally,
I completely agree. Let's get back to it here. I put the screen up.
Amazing. Okay, so after we've seasoned our AI assistant and really we love digging in and setting that brand voice, after we've done that, we're going to move into the first step of the batch content creation. The first step is identifying your buying beliefs. And so the buying beliefs, you may know, like Rich Sheffrin, who I mentioned earlier, years and years ago, he talked about a concept called the chain of beliefs, which is like all the beliefs that come together in order for someone to purchase. Very similar concept. We call it a tree of beliefs. And so we're sprinkling seeds of belief through our content, moving them closer and closer to a purchase. And so in this tree of beliefs, here's some of what we include. Why me? Meaning, what's in it for the actual client? My team member, Kamiko, always tells our clients that they need to remember, what's in it for me? What's the client saying? Like, why would they care? Then why this? This is why your mechanism, if you're selling a banana phone, why would someone want to buy a banana phone? There's specific reasons, right? So you want to be clear around the why this. Why you, meaning why the company, and why you, the human being. So this is where that quesadilla of awesome comes into play. And then why now? So this can be in terms of the world. It could be in terms of like seasonally. It can be in terms of an expiring bonus, but it's that urgency indicator. And then we talk about why not. And so this is where we're really clear about what are the objections that people have to working with us, because if we can squish those objections in the content that we're creating before they even get to the purchase page, it makes them much more likely to buy when they see that. There's a bunch of others, but that's all we're going to talk about for this purpose. And I have prompts that you can use in ChatGPT for each of these beliefs. So you'll see as we go through all of this, why me, why this, why you, why now, why not. I'll just read the why me prompt. Create a list of personal reasons that and then you put in your ideal client information would have for wanting to, and then you add in your result. Now, notice here, this result is not your product or service. This is the result separate from your product or service. Oftentimes what I see people do is they're so convinced that their solution is the only solution, they miss major opportunities in terms of marketing because they're being blind to what's actually available in the marketplace. If you can notice the other opportunities people may have for investing and open it up to why do they even want this result, you're going to get much juicier content. Okay. Now you can go through and screenshot this, whatever, use these individually, but I created something even cooler, which is an all-in-one prompt. You want to see it? It's really cool.
Yeah, totally. Of course.
Okay.
I'm sure everyone wants to see it.
Okay. So act like a world-renowned marketing and sales expert who has a deep understanding of human psychology and marketing. Please make me a list of buying beliefs that my clients would need to have in order to purchase, name of product, based on the info you have above. Remember, we've already seasoned this. It has all of our product information. So we don't need to explain any more details because we've already done that earlier in the chat. Then at that point, you're going to review and edit as needed. Now, I don't have this listed on here, but sometimes I will say, I'd like this to cover why me, why you, why this, why now. Like I'll take all of these things and I'll put it in the middle there too. Like I'd like you to list it out with these different categories. You don't even need to do that, but I like to get really detailed on this section. Okay. And then great. Now add that into a table with the header, belief, short statement to instill the belief, and why it's important. This is going to get so cool. You're going to copy that information straight into a spreadsheet in a brand new tab. This is what it looks like when it's all done. So this is even, like I said, without the why me, why this, whatever. This is just straight up buying beliefs. So ChatGPT wrote back to me and said, "Good morning. Of course, I'd be happy to help you with that. Here's a list of potential buying beliefs that your potential clients might need to have in order to purchase a spot in your AI monthly content club. First, the value of AI technology. And then it goes into details about that. Quality over quantity, details about that. The value of continuous learning. So the AI Content Club is a monthly membership. Instilling the value of continuous learning is encouraging people to stay in the program as well. Time efficiency, trust in your brand, all these different things. Then after you say, hey, that was great, but change number 5 to blah, 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 then it puts it into a table for you. So the buying beliefs are here. Then the statement that instills that. So like quality trumps quantity every time. Don't just create more content, create smarter content, right? There's like a statement I could use. And then here on the why it works side, it is actually analyzing the content for me. So I don't even have to do the analyzation. I can come in here and see belief in collaborative intelligence. Let's merge human creativity and AI capability, create impactful content like never before. That's cool. And then the why it works says, this emphasizes the synergy between human creativity and AI, presenting a future-focused approach to content creation. Super cool, right? I love this.
Awesome.
Questions about that?
No, this is just putting me back. This is great. This is like taking some information. It's just getting it super custom, right? For your business. And you can use that for your marketing, your sales, anything basically. And for your content to take your buyers through this customer journey, essentially. From free content to paid content. That's awesome because it's really unique to your brand but you need to take the time. It's not like sometimes 1 second, you're actually taking the time to feed it the right information and then you're getting a better output and you can actually use this. So it's not any garbage. Actually, it's going to bring you sales, and that's what it's about. Content that converts, right? So yeah, AI content that converts, but with a human touch.
Yes, I love it. So what we do is we have a whole spreadsheet where we have the beliefs, we have all these different types of content based on those beliefs. The next step that we move to is creating just a bunch of one-liners. And so the one-liners are little like quotes or written pieces of text that create that light bulb moment that really serves, like, I love that you mentioned the client journey. It serves in that consideration phase to move them from first hearing about you in the awareness phase into the purchase phase. So all of this helps to move them closer to actually buying. Now, what we'll do with this is we'll create 60 to 180 graphics in literally seconds. You may have seen this before. If you haven't, it's going to blow your mind. If you have seen this, this is your reminder to actually do this. So we love to use the Jasper tweet machine. You can use a tweet machine, or you can just say to ChatGPT, create a list of one-liner statements like we did earlier in that table, just asking for one-liners based on those beliefs. Then you're going to choose that buying belief, and you're going to have these statements written in 3 separate voices. So I'll show you what I mean in just a moment. Then you're going to, because you'll have it put it in a table like that, you're going to download it as a CSV. So you're going to copy and paste that into a spreadsheet and then download it as a CSV. Then we bulk create the graphics in Canva. So these are 3 different voices for the example. Factual yet witty. That's a Jasper voice that I actually really love. Cowboy, which you'll see why I did cowboy in a second. And then Hot Mess Mom is my favorite voice that works really well for our community. Okay, so from here, we have all of these. And what we're going to do is we're going to download it. Then we create 3 separate graphic templates. My dad has a tree trimming business, and they repurpose when trees need to be removed in the cities. They, rather than sending them to be like firewood, they turn them into beautiful slabs. These are 3 different images that I created. This is my brother with his giant beard. That's the cowboy, obviously. This is my husband, who clearly is obviously also a cowboy, John Dominguez. And then this is a wall. Okay, watch what I do. I'm going to go into Canva. On the bottom left-hand side, I click on bulk create. It's going to be either right here or it'll show up in the apps section. You can click on apps and it'll be right there. Then you're going to upload as a CSV. When you go to upload as a CSV, you can have 3 separate columns, and then you match those 3 separate columns with each image. So you right click, you select the column that you want to connect here. Then it brings in all of the quotes and instantly creates graphics. Have you done this?
I've never done this, actually. I've never done it this way. This is cool. It's nice. I think I knew it's possible because I use Canva a lot, but I've never used this feature. I could see this working really well from something like this when you create a lot of video content and you can get a lot of information out of it because you want to. There's other tools as well. I found tools that, for example, there's a tool for Twitter called AutoThread or something like this. I'm not
okay.
AutoThread AI. And you can actually get, for example, I just give them a YouTube link and it gives them like a Twitter thread, which might take time.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. There's a lot of different useful tools. But for images, this is really nice that Canva just spits them out like that from a CSV file. It's really nice. Because
you could, like, for example, take a quote from everyone in the summit and put them in a CSV like that, and then have all these different quote cards created instantly.
Yeah, I was just thinking like for speakers and stuff like that, to be able to share it. It's quite nice to share with their community.
Totally.
Not just, of course, we have a regular speaker image, but it could be nice to have something specific from the session that you said or someone else said, and they can share it. That's really nice.
And you'll notice
can you change images? Just going back to your slides, so you can change. I guess these images are just from Canva directly. They might not match. So how do you just change them after the fact?
Yeah. So these are my own images. They're like
okay.
That's like a photo I took of my husband, or somebody else took of my husband, and then that's a photo somebody else took of my brother. But these images here, what you have to remember is you've got the 10% up front. This is the 80% that AI is doing. And then you can see, obviously, it doesn't fit perfectly. Yeah. So you go through and you zhuzh it and delete the ones you don't want.
Yeah. You might have to tweak it a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But it still saves a lot of time, because otherwise you will have to put in all these quotes manually, which takes a lot of time.
So much time. Yeah. It's amazing. At this point, we move into the next 3 steps of the batch content creation, which is engaging questions. So remember we talked about that social triangle? We want to get people to actually comment. And oftentimes we won't even use a graphic. We'll just use text for that. Obviously, if you're using Instagram, you have to have a graphic. Fine. And then short form videos. So you can use the tree of beliefs to create short form videos as well. And then long form videos. And the long form videos will write the title, the description, the bullet points that you're going to cover so that it's then set up to be repurposed when you're done. What I love about the long form videos is I won't write an entire script. You're an expert. Give yourself a little bit of an outline and then show up and actually speak as a human being. So we've got loads in those sections on how we customize those, but we don't have time to cover those today. Just want to make sure you get those. Okay. Then that's all on the batch content side. On the repurposing side, we actually start again with the long form videos and we add in a blog post. So you can take a long form video that you've done, let's say on YouTube, and if you're using WordTune, you just click on the little WordTune logo and it creates a summary and a full blog post based on your video in a second.
That's awesome. That's incredible. That's really cool.
It's amazing.
WordTune, is that like a freemium kind of tool or what kind of?
It is, but I think the WordTune Read, I'm not sure if you have to pay for WordTune Read or not, because it's a separate thing within
probably
it.
If it generates. Yeah. I also, just on the same topic, I do like content at scale. It's more expensive, but if you want a really high quality thing, I just tested this with Julia McCoy, which is also a speaker on the AI for Creators Summit. We tested this and basically took a Neil Patel video or something like that I had from before. He created like this perfectly SEO optimized blog post, really in depth, was like 2,000 words or something like that, or more even, 3,000 words. And it was really good. But it's more premium tool. If you just want something simple, I think maybe WordTune might be cheaper. Like content at scale is
I think it definitely.
It's like a content tool for actually creating, like basically replacing like writers in your business. And that's like creating really high quality content. And even she was like blown away. So yeah, it is but it's really pretty cool what you can do, to be honest, with this.
That's awesome. Yeah. One other one that we love is Capsho, like we talked about earlier. So you can do the same thing. You load a video into Capsho just with the link. What I love about Capsho is that you can really customize the way that the blog post is written. So with WordTune, it's really just taking a summary and bringing out like an outline, highlighting what in the same order that your video was delivered. With Capsho, they've taken all these little content blocks. So you can choose, do you want to add in a honey trap, which is like what really grabs the attention of your reader, a summary, a quote, a bio, a takeaway, key moments, like all these different things. And you can customize the order with which you write it in. And then you can templatize that. So if you have a specific template order that you load the video and you just hit like Navid's template and it'll create it in that style.
Oh, this is great. I'm glad you brought me to Capsho. This is a great tool, actually. I love it.
Amazing. Hooray. So then we move in the repurposing into carousel posts, and then we come back to short form videos and one-liners and questions. So it goes full circle. The carousel posts are taken from those bullet points in your video. The short form videos, each of those bullet points can be their own short form video. And then the one-liners and questions, you'll get new one-liners and questions once you've added your own human element into that long form video in the middle. If you're not into doing video, you can do this with a blog post, but it's honestly easier just to get over it and get on camera. Or a podcast, right? So here's some examples of what we're doing with short form videos. Like I said, video is one that's really quick. And one thing that I love about it is that when you load a video of two people, Jenna's face looks so crazy here, which I think is funny. But when you load a video with two people, it will automatically split it. Even if you recorded it side by side, it'll do that so that it's optimized for Reels and TikTok videos, which is pretty cool. And you can also have your own template set up. So like I take videos of myself speaking on stage and I load it into video. And then we have all these short form videos for me speaking on stage.
That's cool. So cool. Yeah.
Okay. Have you played with Kyber yet?
I know of the tool. I haven't played too much with this yet, but I know of it.
Okay. Watch what you can do. Now for me, this is really about, first of all, just having fun because I think it's fun. The second thing is you can create something that looks really different from what other people are putting out on the internet. Check this out. So there's two versions of this video happening here. And when I click on it, they're playing at the same time. You'll notice the one on the left is like way too AI-ified, where my teeth are like changing colors and all things are really crazy. The one on the right, I actually lessened how AI-ified it was. So I turned my driveway into a Mardi Gras wonderland. Watch this. This is my driveway. And then it goes, now we're in a Mardi Gras wonderland. So the video is like, come with me on a journey. And then I'm speaking about bringing people to an event at my home. So I didn't want my teeth to be all different colors. So that's the only thing that I could not figure out, how to get my teeth to stay white instead of gold and blue. But cool, right?
Yeah, this is awesome. I know I've seen some videos for this tool. It's great.
There's so much that you can do with it. With that, we have to be careful that we're not creating zombie content, right? We have to make sure that we're keeping that human element as a part of this. And so as we go through, we really identify those buying beliefs. We batch the content creation. And then on the other side, we batch the repurposing. You can schedule out 50 weeks of content like super quickly with just a few key long form videos, a few key bigger pieces of content that really instill those buying beliefs. It is so awesome. So some of you are probably thinking, that's amazing. Others of you are like, yikes, that was way too much information and I don't know what the heck to do with all of that. So I just want you to take a moment, stop for a second, and I'm going to teach you really quickly this social sales strategy. And then I'm going to give you an action plan so that you can get started right away. Remember, I told you about this day where it was like, oh my gosh, we had so many people request to join our Facebook group. Well, this is the post that I wrote in order to bring people to the group. So I said, this is not written with AI. This is written with my brain. So, dude, new custom instructions on ChatGPT. This will allow you to set your brand voice for every chat. Just did a video on this. Want it? I'll show you how to customize properly so that you get content that's unique to you. I'll show you how to set it up too. We had 523 comments. Now, half of these comments are me replying to people. So it was really about 250 comments here. Super easy post, no graphic, nothing. It's tapping into a why now belief. What most people will do when a new change like this happens in the world of AI is they'll just share how to do something. They'll be like, oh, custom instructions, here's how to use them. That is a big mistake. We want to get people engaging with a micro commitment first and then invite them to the actual thing. So when they said yes, they wanted it, what I did was I did a video inside my Facebook group. So we had 290 requests. I only approved 210 because the other 75 or so did not fill out the questions. So when you try to join my group, if you don't answer the questions, I'm denying you and you're going to have to ask again. Inside the group, we then had them comment in order to get access to some sort of template that we then offer inside the content club. So it was like post that leads to a free thing that's inside our group, training that leads to a paid thing inside our content club. So it was a really cool, like 3 steps that got them into a program. Some other examples of this are this post. This is one of our members. She said, if I did a training sharing how I lost 17 pounds by eating more, would anyone be interested? 18 words. Within 3 days, she had a high ticket sale before she even created the video. Amazing. Same thing. Marie Elizabeth did this before she actually went live, saying, hey, I'm going to start going live. I'd love your support. You want to join me? 179 comments before she even went live. The key here is to simplify and slow down your sales. So you create batch content that you can set out into the world on evergreen to keep the algorithm alive, to keep people engaged, to move them by instilling consideration buying beliefs in the consideration phase. And then when it comes down to the sales piece, take the time to actually talk to human beings. And here's a little example. This is our member, Linda. On the call, I gave them a template to go message the people who were engaging with them because it's not just about the content, it's about the actual sales. And she said on Molly's call today, she asked us to message people. I messaged 5 people that I didn't have plans to contact otherwise. The result was $1,500 in less than 24 hours. That's just from one of them. I'm banana phoning even more into existence. I then messaged her and said, hey, can I share that post that you did in Circle? That was such an awesome win. She said, absolutely. I did $7,000 the next day based on those individual conversations. So content is only one piece of the puzzle. We have to make sure that we're actually inviting people into opportunities as well. Keep that in mind. Now, that was our full content cruise. This is our full itinerary of everywhere that we went. And so how will you put this into action? Maybe coming to mind. So this is your little action plan. The first thing is build your tree of beliefs. Give yourself the gift of taking the time to do that from the quesadilla of awesome all the way through that whole tree. Then batch create your content. Start with just one post a week. You can create 50 one-liners and schedule them to go out for the rest of the year. Then edit them before you schedule them and let your freak flag fly. So bring your weird into your content. Then deliver the content strategically so that it's set to unlock that social triangle. And talk to human beings. As Navid shared at the beginning, like with all of the AI out there, it is more and more important to actually have human conversations. And again, that may freak you out. So know that I got you. If you have questions, just let me know. I know we're going to be doing a Q&A session together, not Q&A, but we're going to be doing a deeper dive, together in the bundle. If you have any other questions, you can actually just message me on Instagram. I don't know if you've seen this, Navid, but I do something really cool on Instagram. So my Instagram is The Prepared Performer. And if you go there and you message me with the word human, you know what'll happen? Message me the word human, and then our messenger bot, who is not a human, will reply to you.
Yeah. I was going to say that. I was going to say probably it's like a chatbot. So
It is, yeah. We have a little, like my top 100 posts. Actually, I'll send you my top 100 posts so you can get an idea of the posts that have done the best in terms of conversion, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. No, this is awesome.
That's our full. Hooray.
No, this has been great. And I just had one question regarding this. What do you do you schedule out posts in advance? I think you didn't cover too much. Like, do you schedule using a tool or something? Maybe that's with AI features as well.
Do you want me to show you what I use?
Yeah, sure. I'm sure I
can show you real
we
quick.
talked a lot about tools, but the scheduling tool to actually make this more efficient, I think could be useful for people.
Yeah. So we use Metricool, is amazing. And let me show you in here. You can go to the planning section on Metricool. And this is my actual Metricool, so you can see what's actually scheduled.
A lot of people moving to this tool lately.
It's really awesome.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people recommending it. Brock Johnson, I think, recommended this as well.
Oh, yeah. And one of my favorite things about it is, see how this says questions to instill beliefs? Y'all, I'm not teaching you to do anything that I'm not actually doing. So we have questions going out every Friday, and you can do them using ChatGPT. You can also come in here and go like this. Because sometimes I accidentally forget and I post things. You can go like this, add post with AI. I can say, please write or source text, sorry. Yeah.
And which platform do you think this is the best? Because there's like very specific ones for LinkedIn and for Twitter that are, I don't know if this has the same features, but I think this is more of a general tool for everything, right? This is like works for any platform. Yeah. I think there's tools actually popping up, which is really interesting.
So this goes back to what we were talking about earlier, is that I find that if I segment myself out into all these separate tools, I'm creating more of a mess. Like the fact that Metricool has everything in one spot for me is just, I know you can say like jack of all trades, master of none, but Metricool is pretty good at being a master of a lot.
I think that there's like certain people that are maybe they are like really focused on one platform. Maybe they just started on LinkedIn. They will use a tool very focused on LinkedIn, which makes sense. If you have like hundreds of thousands of followers, of course you're gonna probably use the best tool for that, for LinkedIn. But if you're
that is a really good point.
I think so, at least. Like, for example, Justin Welsh, I don't know if you know, he's using these tools and he's very big on LinkedIn or on Twitter. He's using like High Fury or whatever it's called as well. And that is his like core platforms. But if you're like more, I think you are a lot on Facebook, you're on Instagram as well. You're doing live streams. You're more like general for these platforms and connecting. You're in the Facebook groups and stuff like that. Then I think
so like Facebook is definitely our number one platform. So we have a Facebook CRM called Group Track, and then we white labeled it to create our own for our clients.
Exactly.
So like we have things that are very
you're gonna know what you're working out. You don't need to be on. You don't need to be on every single platform to like connect. Like at least not in the same form. You should have probably accounts everywhere, but you are more active on certain platforms. I think that's good.
And we suggest that you treat it like a parfait, because if you feel like you have to be super active on all of these at all times, you're gonna burn out. So pick one, get that going, then add the next one. Get that going, then add the next one.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I love it. Metrical is what you use. I link up some resources below. I mean, some of the tools you mentioned, I'll link up as well in the description here. And remember, you can also get this bonus in the bundle, and you're going to get 2 weeks free of Molly's Content Club as well, which is really useful. So you can get that if you join the bundle. You get some extra bonuses. There's a lot of stuff included. You can find a link in the description. But leave your biggest takeaway for this session. Molly shared some really useful stuff. And I personally love like this content creation process because it's with a purpose, and then you have the repurposing. So I really enjoy it, and it's pretty easy to follow, but yeah, you have to put in the work up front to get really great output, which is fantastic. So Molly, thanks so much for coming on here and sharing all this info. And yeah, we're gonna jump on for a bonus here to do even more value. So yeah, but hopefully you enjoy this, and let us know if you have any questions. Thanks so much. Ciao.